Today's title, once again, Secret Sins. The title ain't long, so shalom, shalom, Israel. First off, giving our praise to the Most High and to His Son, Yahweh Shah. Happy Sabbath to brothers and sisters online. Happy Sabbath to brothers and sisters in the class. Today's class for the Sabbath is Secret Sins. Today's title is Secret Sins. But before we dive into the class, we're going to touch on something real quick. We know a lot of times, we know what happened yesterday, or what holiday. Yesterday was so-called Juneteenth, so to speak. But like we say, we know that it was the emancipation of our people in 1865. But it really came in 1863, exactly. You know, so Esau got a couple of more years free labor out of our people. Now we know that God gives us high holy days according to the Bible. So guess what? They said that this is an emancipation, but last time I checked, we still in the land of our captivity. Right. That was not a holiday for our people, because guess what? When you free a people, you send them back to their land. You leave off the names that are our slave masters' names. Give me Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 36 real quick. So we're not emancipated as a nation of people. Esau, the so-called white man, has put an illusion of inclusion upon our people to pacify us, to keep us docile. Read that, Officer Yard. Yeah. Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 36.
Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 36. Behold, we are servants this day.
Read that again.
Behold, we are servants this day.
So like we always go, we know we're in captivity when you have to what? Be in servitude to the other nations. As a nation of people. Yeah, it may be some of our brothers and sisters that's doing well, but what about the rest of our people? When your service, when you have to pay taxes, that is a place of servitude. Read on out.
And for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers to eat, the fruit thereof, and the good thereof.
Guess what? He's talking about Jerusalem, but he also is talking about America. Because guess what? This land was given to the northern tribe. But Esau, the so-called Spaniards, came over here, ate up all the fruit of the land, and destroyed our people. Read on up.
And the good thereof. Behold, we are servants in it.
We are what?
Servants in it.
Read on up.
And it yieldeth much increase unto the king, whom thou hast set over us because of our sins.
Now we in this predicament because of our sins. Sin is what? The breaking of God's commandments. It's more than just 10 commandments out there, brothers and sisters. We went into slavery for breaking all of those commandments, all 613. Read on up.
Also, they have dominion over our body.
Because guess what? If Esau tell you to be at that 9 to 5 at 6 o'clock, guess what? You're going to be there. Or else you don't get paid. So it's letting you know that they have dominion over our bodies. Read on up.
And over our cattle at their pleasure. And we are in great distress.
And we see our nation of people, we see our nation of people that's in distress. When we go outside these doors, you see protests, you see police brutality, you see, guess what? Black on black crime, Latino on Latino crime. So we in great distress as a nation of people.
And it also said over our cattle. That's ownership, things that we own. Just like your house. You might buy a house, but you'll never own your house. You stop paying taxes on your house, they'll take it. We would never ever own our house. If you leave it for your children, you stop paying taxes on your children stop paying taxes on their house, they're going to take it. I don't care if you owe $3 on that house. If they want to come get it and you ain't paid your taxes, that house is gone. All the years and money and sweat that you'll put in to build it, it is gone.
That's right. Even like what we pointed out earlier, even with the going so forth of our names, so to speak, the names that we have, guess what? It goes back to the slave master that owned our ancestors. And guess what? We take those names, we have big pride in those names. Oh, the Johnson family reunion. Brother and sister, that's a slave name. We shouldn't even be doing those types of things. God gave us high holy days to celebrate. He told us the things we should celebrate and the things we should not celebrate. Give me Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 5. Because as we start to wake up and come back into the truth, coming back to who we are as a nation of people, we no longer should take on these names of our oppressors. Read this, Officer Yara.
What
Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 5.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 44, verse 5. One shall say, I am the Lord. And another shall call himself by the name of Jacob.
Because in the world, guess what? My name was Barrington. But now that I'm in the truth, you tell brothers and sisters, my name is Benoniah. That is my name. Read on up.
And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord.
And it says, and another self shall subscribe. Like we tell brothers and sisters, if you can afford these things, by all means, get your name changed. Because guess what? We putting off the old man, off these old slave names, and guess what? Coming back to who we truly are. Even when we read back up and call himself by the name of Jacob. Because guess what? You always take on the last name of your father, so to speak. Our father is who? Jacob. We don't know.
And surnamed himself by the name of Israel.
And that's what many brothers and sisters of the congregation have done. We have surnamed ourselves by the name of the Lord. The Lord's people is the Israelites. So these is one of the things our people got to come up out of that illusion of inclusion. Because we see people celebrating over there where I stayed, but then they don't understand fully in depth that guess what? We are still in captivity, brothers and sisters. Only way we get up out of captivity is by turning back to first who we are, repent, and keep God's commandments. Now let's get into the heat of the class. Give me the book of Luke chapter 8 verse 17. Because like we said, the title of the class is Secret Sins. Matter of fact, let's drop that. Give me what sin is. Because we know a lot of times brothers and sisters been going to church all their lives and don't know what the word sin actually means. A lot of times when we out there on the streets, we hear, oh, it's missing the mark. When no brother, no sister, the Bible actually defines what it is.
Turn that fan a little bit out. Turn it. Other way.
So a lot of times brothers and sisters don't even know what the word means. Let's go to 1 John chapter 4 and verse 3. Because like we said, we don't need to lean on our own interpretation to get the understanding of the scriptures. All we have to do is go to that scripture. And the Most High God defines what it is. 1 John 3 and 4. Go ahead, Officer Yara.
1 John chapter 3 verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
It says, read that again, huh?
Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
It says, whoso committed sin transgress also the law. The word transgress means to break.
Read on up. For sin is the transgression of the law.
For sin is the breaking of God's laws. That's what sin is according to the Bible. So guess what? When we read Leviticus chapter 21 verse 5, where it tells the Israelite man not to bald his head or to wear a beard on his face, guess what? You have to do that thing. If you don't do those things, that is breaking God's laws. And it's judgment for those things. The Most High God has a way that he wants the Israelite man to look, and he has a way that he wants the Israelite woman to look. So that's what sin is according to the Bible. Let's go back.
You gotta push that right quick so you what the judgment of sin is. Romans 6 and 23. So like it says, sin is the transgression of the law, and it was a judgment for sin.
That's right. Okay. The book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
For the what?
For the wages of sin is death.
So like I said, it's a judgment for sin, and we all know that the wages of sin is death. Read on.
For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Yahweh Christ our Lord.
So we know that when we're trying to break this old man off of us, we're trying to get into that new spirit that we have and trying to win that flesh to be sold into flesh. That sin will get you that death, that lake of fire, but trying to convert that sin into positive and right things, just things, which is the law, will give you eternal life. So the wages of sin is death. That's right.
Because even like going into the class, like we say, secret sins, because we know a lot of times brothers and sisters deal with these things. Brothers and sisters, you must get these things under control, because we see that the time is getting short. It's getting short. We see things that's up ruins in the nations, in the world, pestilence, famines. We see these things occurring. And guess what? They're going to keep getting more and more, worse and worse. So you want to be able to deal with these things or your secret sins that you may have through the scriptures. We know a lot of times brothers deal with lust, sisters deal with lust, covetousness, adultery. We deal with all types of sins that's outlined in the Bible. So we want to get a grapple on these things because give me Luke chapter 8, verse 17. We have to understand, brothers and sisters, even our thoughts. The Most High God knows these things. We know we see your body. Your body may be here, but guess what? Secretly you have wicked thoughts in your imaginations. The Most High God's laws, when you stand in the Bible studying, reading, the Most High God's laws put checks and balances on those things. That's why we tell brothers and sisters, stay in the scriptures. You can tell when brothers and sisters are not reading the scriptures. We see certain spirits come over them. We see these things. That's why we say stay diligent in the word. Stay diligent in the word. Read this,
Luke
chapter 8, verse 17. For nothing is secret.
Read that again.
For nothing is secret.
The Most High God is letting us know nothing is secret. The things that we deal with, guess what? The Most High God knows. He has the angels recording these things. Read on up.
For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest.
So guess what? The things that you deal with sooner or later is going to be manifest. And guess what? You want those things sooner than later. Because guess what? When Christ comes back, guess what? The practice is over. It's game time then. It's game time. And you want to be prepared for that game. Because you don't want to get his type of bench. Christ's types of benches going into the lake of fire. Being killed. That's what this is. Read that from the top again.
Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad.
Come to fruition. Like we said, we see a lot of times with brothers and sisters dealing with things. That's why you see the leaders, the captains, the officers ask brothers, are you okay? You dealing with some stuff? Do we need to go over the scriptures? That's what leadership is up here for, to give the counsel according to the Bible. This is therapy that our people desperately need, brothers and sisters. We need this thing. You got some out?
Let me go and get this.
Go ahead,
Let's go to Matthew 10 and 26.
Matthew what?
10 and 26. Matthew chapter 10, verse 26.
We'll repeat it, brother. Hold your peace. We got you.
Book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 26. Fear them not therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed.
Ain't nothing. They say don't even fear, like when people even got secret sins against you, hate against you. Don't worry about that. You stay in the spirit, because it's all going to be revealed. Some of them be right in your face and don't like you at all. Guess what? That's going to be revealed too. Go ahead.
And here that shall not be known.
Ain't nothing. I mean nothing. That goes with everybody. All of us. Ain't nothing going to be hid. I can promise you that.
That's exactly right.
Think you got it in your head? That's going to be uncovered too. That's all I got.
Give me the book of Psalms, chapter 90 and verse 8. So this is what this class is for, brothers and sisters, so you can learn to get a grapple on these things, you know, before the time runs out, you know. Psalms chapter 90 and verse 8.
Psalms chapter 90, verse 8. Thou hast set our iniquities before thee.
Iniquities in the Bible, according to the Bible, is sin. It's just another word for breaking God's commandments. Read that again.
Thou hast set our iniquities before thee.
The thou that it's talking about is the Most High God. This is King David, the Psalms of David. It says, thou hast set our iniquities before thee. Brothers and sisters know the things that they deal with in the world. They know what things trigger them to do certain things or certain sins that they deal with. Like even myself, I dealt with lust before I came into the truth. Watching porn, doing all these type of filth and abominable things. But guess what? When I understand it, guess what? I have to get a grapple on those things, and I cannot lust on my sisters. Guess what? That's breaking God's commandments. When you're not looking at a sister to take her to be your wife, guess what? That's lust according to the Bible. And we have been raised in these types of things. You see a sister out there and you just go directly at her. That's why our neighborhoods is what? Full of STDs. Because guess what? The judgment for breaking Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4, marriage is honorable and all. The penalty for that is STDs. Sisters, the same way too, because we know sisters deal with those types of things. It's not just the brothers, you know. It may be brothers more so, but guess what? Sisters deal with those types of things as well. But we got to get a grapple on those things. Like we tell brother, you got that porn addiction, guess what? Get a 1G phone so that you won't be able to put it up on your phone no more. You have to be able to, guess what? Kill these things at all costs. Because these things are stop you from getting to the kingdom. Because eventually you're going to get tired of looking at it on the phone. You're going to actually want the real deal Holyfield. And guess what? If you're in a marriage, that calls you to what? Commit adultery. And guess what? Even if you're not married, that causes you to what? Whore after sisters. And that's, you won't find boyfriend and girlfriend or whore them in a righteous way in the Bible, brothers and sisters. So we have to get a grip on these things. Read verse 8 again.
Psalms 90 and 8. Thou hast set our iniquities before thee, our secret sins in the light of thy countenance.
So the Most High God, He sees those things, man. He sees the things that brothers and sisters deal with on a day-to-day basis. Even Paul said that when he died daily, Brother Paul dealt with things on a day-to-day basis. You don't think his spirit wasn't flexed when he know that he was persecuting his own brothers and sisters? Killing them, man. Killing his own brothers and sisters. That thing must have weighed on his spirit continuously, man. But guess what? He had to put off the old man and come into that new man. Come into the true light of the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
That's the reason why we must pray against those things.
Those things
We must pray against. Let's go to Psalm chapter 19. Psalm chapter 19. Let me see. And verse 12. See, we must pray against those things. Because a lot of times, just like the class we had on Wednesday, do you know what spirit you in? Because a lot of times people can't discern the spirit that, a lot of times people say they got discernment, and they don't even know how to discern the spirit that they're in themselves. We must discern the spirit that we're in our own self first, before we know how to discern the spirit that's in the other people, man. When we get there, I'll read Psalm chapter 19, verse 12.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 12. Who can understand his errors?
Who can understand his errors? Who can understand when they error, man? That's the question that's being asked right now, man. Read.
Cleanse thou me from secret faults.
Cleanse me from secret faults. That's the question. That's the answer. It's praying to get cleansed from the secret faults. When you see things that's going on with you, you're supposed to be praying against those things that you know that it's going to cause you to err. The things that you stumble on. Because if you can't understand, because some things, like you'll hold the next person to a 5, but to yourself, oh man, I'm all right. No, you're not all right. Because you just hold that same man to the 5, but you don't hold yourself to the 5. We got to cleanse our own self, man. We got to make sure that we're right when we're dealing with people, man. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, that's another thing, man. When you're dealing with somebody else and you got to go confront, or if something bothered you that somebody else bothered, you need to first see what spirit you in, because it just might be you. It ain't them. So when you check yourself before you go and check somebody else, it'll be an easier thing to come by. That way, you know, hold on, let me think, am I wrong? Am I mad? Am I upset? Am I in my feelings? Or before I go and say something to that person? Because then you go over there and they'll bust you up, they'll pull out them scriptures on you and you be like, yeah, you was wrong. So like Jezebel said, check yourself first before you even think about this with anybody else.
Exactly. And like I always say, we hold other people's foot to the fire, but we don't hold ourselves accountable. That's one thing that we have to do in the nation of Israel. Check yourself. What's that old song, sweep around your own porch? That too, all of them go together. You know, sweep around your own porch, you know, before you try to sweep around others. Go ahead,
And like I said, Psalm 90 and 8. You wanna know your secret sin, the Most High gonna let you know. See, it ain't like he don't put those stumbling blocks in front of us to see if we gonna stumble over it. Because like it said, thou hast set our iniquities before thee. He put it right in your face. See, the thing that you don't overcome, they don't come to you no more. See, I had a problem with smoking weed. I said I'm gonna stop smoking weed till I die. So when I first started smoking weed, guess what? I walk outside, a big old sack right there, just a fresh sack just on the ground. Somebody, I said, well, what is this, my lucky day? But now I done overcame that almost 2 years, going on 2 years in the making. I don't get that test anymore.
That's right.
I mean, every now and then it might come back, but you overcome that. So now, the sins that we do deal with, the Most High put that test in your face daily. It's always a test for you. That's why he said, he gonna put the iniquity before you. Your sins, they're gonna be right in your face. Every time, the most thing, you on that phone, look at that porn, you say, I ain't looking at porn today. Look, that porn come right up on your phone. Or Google and just say porn, whatever.
You like,
Hold on now, not
I did not go there.
Yes, sir. So when I put it on there, you gonna push the button? Or you gonna say, man, you know what, nah, man, not today, man. It's a test. But you put it in your face. That's all I got.
And that's a good point. He's going to constantly put trials and tribulations to see if you going to pass it. You see a lot of times, brothers and sisters, they can't pass that test. They cannot pass it, man. And that's something that brothers and sisters must work on. You know you're not your own selves. You know the things that you deal with. Stop playing the games, because guess what? This is for life and death, brothers and sisters. We see the destruction of our people out there, man, and we end it because of what? Because of sins. I like that precept that Captain Jezebel read. Read down to verse 13.
Psalm chapter 19, verse 12. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sin.
It says, keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sin. The word presumptuous means failing to observe the limits of what is permitted or appropriate. Sometimes, a lot of times, people, we see that thing, but you just cannot shake it. You want to test the waters. The Most High God, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. You don't want to tempt the Most High God. A lot of times, that ain't what you want. You don't want that smoke. Believe that, man. Because a lot of times, the Most High God won't touch you. He'll touch your family. He'll touch your children. He'll touch your wife. He'll touch your mother. So a lot of times when brothers is thinking that way, when sisters is thinking that way, oh, I'm going to be able to take what the Most High God can dish out to me, that's dealing in a selfish spirit. Because you're only thinking about yourself. That's what's wrong with our nation of people. We don't think as a nation of people. Read verse 13 again,
Verse 13. Keep back thy servants also from presumptuous sin.
Now, who is the servant that he's talking about? Is he talking about every nation, all people? Brother Solomon, who is the servants of the Most High God? What precept you got,
Who are the servants of the Most High?
Who are the servants?
Psalms 147, 19.
Let's read that. Let's see if I on point with that. I would say we ask questions. You already know how we get down, I said Psalms, what'd you say? Psalms 147?
Oh, no, you're 147 in verse 14. Verse 14.
Read that out.
148 verse 14. I'm
148.
148 verse 14, my fault.
I'll probably get there.
We got time. Psalm chapter 148, verse 14.
Let's see if I go on point.
He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
See, what we want is what? Servants right there, not saints. So give me the book of Isaiah chapter 45. I just gave it away. I'm about to ask you again, man. Give me Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 21. Let's see who the servants of the Most High God is. Like I say, is Mother Teresa a servant? Is Joel Osteen a servant? Let's see who the servants are, because a lot of times people don't understand that, guess what? The nation of Israel is still on the planet Earth today. They are still walking around here. We just don't know who we are. Read Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 21. Now, let's see who the servants are.
The book of Isaiah 44 and 21. Remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant.
For thou art what?
For thou art my
It says,
servant.
remember these, O Jacob and Israel. Jacob was another name for Israel. His name was changed to Israel. So the Israelites are the servants of the Most High God. Not all nations, not all creeds, not all races, creeds and tongues. It's the Israelites.
Get another precept.
Hold on, let me finish reading that.
Isaiah 44 21. Remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant. I have formed thee, thou art my servant.
We don't know.
O Israel, thou shalt not be forgotten of me.
Though we going through tribulations, black on black crime, police brutality, guess what? The Most High God has not forgotten us, Israel. These things that we doing, coming to class, keeping the high holy days, these things are not in vain. These things is not a waste of time, brothers and sisters. We will be rewarded if you're doing this in sincerity. Sometimes, a lot of times, brothers and sisters just going through the motions. Oh, let me just go. No, the Most High God wants you to be joyous about doing His commandments. Go ahead, Captain Jeremiah.
Let's get another precept. So we got to go precept upon precept. Leviticus 25 and 55 saying the same thing. I'll make sure y'all writing them precepts down, man.
The book of Leviticus chapter 25, verse 55. For unto me, the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
Another great precept. Just like I said, it's very imperative that you go precept upon precept. You can read the Bible like a novel, but to get the deeper understandings that the Most High God is trying to give to you, to the children of Israel, you must go to a scripture here and a scripture there. That's why you see us all the time flipping back and forth. This is also how you get more and more familiar with your Bible. I know we be going. You got something else?
I just had another Isaiah 44 and 1. I know we jumped to 6. But 44 and 1 said the same thing. There's more precept.
Let's go back to Psalms chapter 19 and verse 13. Finish that out. I would say write the precept down so that you will have it, then flip to the scripture. Psalms chapter 19 and verse 13.
The book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 13. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me.
That's what you have to pray for. That's what you also have to fast for. You have to fast to get these certain spirits up off of us. You got to ask the Most High God, please take this spirit away from me. And that's what King David was praying to the Most High God for. He's constantly doing that because we know when we go into that history how he dealt wickedly with Uriah, taking his wife, committing adultery. The Most High God, guess what, judged him for that. So he knows what the punishment comes about. They are giving us these things, so guess what, we don't have to go through that punishment. So we'll know to do the right thing the first time. Even like with some of our children, we know we have to tell them time and time again. But then the second time, you know, you're bringing the belt out. No, Daddy, no, Mom. Yes, because I done told you time and time again. Now you have to reap the judgment that you did for breaking my commandment or my rules. Read on, huh?
Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright.
Then shall I be what?
Upright.
So when you don't let these secret sins have dominion over you, that's when you start to become upright. Because we know brothers and sisters deal with things, like I say, drinking to get drunk, that's a sin. Trying to smoke weed, lust, like we say, going against being rebellious, that is a sin according to the Bible. Read on up.
Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression.
From the what?
From the great transgression.
From the great transgression. That's what we got to constantly do, brothers and sisters. He gives us the tools to combat these things. A lot of times we just not use them. Give me Psalms chapter 69 and verse 5. We always have to keep that in our head, brothers and sisters. We are a rebellious people. And a lot of times we don't like the Most High. We don't like nobody telling us what to do. Man, we hate that thing, man, with a passion. We hate to be corrected. Brothers and sisters hate to be critiqued. They hate that. But guess what? The Most High God, we didn't put ourselves here, brothers. The Most High God put brothers and sisters here. Put brothers here. Read this,
The book of Psalms, chapter 69, verse 5. O God, thou knowest my foolishness.
Read that again,
O God, thou knowest my foolishness.
So we know we once were foolish. Before we came into the truth and an understanding of who we are, we all did foolish things. Robbing, stealing, selling drugs. Brothers used to do these things. I used to do these things. Until I found out that, like we always say, selling drugs means you hate your own people. Because you're constantly keeping them what? Unsober. High. How can they know who they are? How can they get the understanding? How can they do anything when they under the influence? It makes you don't want to do nothing. Just be around and be lazy. Guess what? The Most High God made us to be the kings and princesses of this earth. Not to be smoking weed and being drug dealers. Our lives is much more important than just that, man. Twerking. Fighting on Instagram or so forth, whatever the stuff that they got. Read that again, out from the top.
Psalm 69 and 5.
O God, thou knowest my foolishness, and my sins are not hid from thee.
So the things that you do against the Bible, against the Most High God, they are not hid from him. He's going to put all these things on blast if you don't get those things under control. That's why he has the leadership set up. So when brothers and sisters is dealing with things, come to us. Let brothers and sisters know so we can throw up prayers for you. Because guess what? Many prayers is better than just one prayer. When we all praying on one accord for a brother or sister to get their spirit right, the Most High God is hearing that thing, man. He's hearing that, brothers and sisters. Give me Sirach chapter 23, verse 19.
Let me
Go ahead, Al. Yeah, go ahead, Al.
Yeah, a lot of times when we try to go into a secret place, I'm going to show y'all something. I'm just going to pull this just to tie it together. There's somebody else in the secret place too with you. Don't think you alone. Let's go to Psalm 10 and 8, 9. I want to show y'all something. You think you're going off and sneaking off? Yeah, there's somebody over there with you, waiting too. Because when you sneaking off, you're in the darkness, so you can't see anyway. But there's other things. You turn on them lights, you're going to see all kind of demons behind you. Go ahead. No, yeah, 10 and 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places does he murder the innocent.
And while you think you're going into a secret place, your enemy is sitting there too. That's why you think sometimes you be like, oh, that dude just got murdered. I just always think about that. When I see somebody murdered, I'll be like, what happened? I'll be thinking about it spiritually, like, man, what did he do to get done like that? Go ahead.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the village. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
The poor of the Israelites, go ahead.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
So you think you're getting away with something? Guess what? Some over there waiting with you. He was there before you got there. Before you started putting it as a secret, guess what? It's a demon waiting right there. Yeah, he gonna come right here. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for him too. Go ahead.
He lieth in wait to catch the poor.
Mm-hmm.
He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
Because that's what it is, a net. Them secret places, them secret sins, it's a net. And we just gotta avoid, man, that we not getting away from this thing, man. We not getting away from the Most High, whether we like it or not.
That's right. We not.
That's all I need to know.
All right.
Let me back off what Ox said. The book of Sirach, chapter 23, and verse 19.
The book of Sirach, chapter 20.
For real? Brother the spirit, man.
I can't have it.
Yeah, go ahead. We're gonna bring it out because even like Ak is finna bring out, man. That's a beautiful thing when you see brothers thinking on one accord. Cause that's my next precept. You know, we know what brothers is, man. Bring that thing out, huh?
It's about 23:19.
Because like I said, you think you hiding from the Lord, you can't hide from the Creator.
That's right, man.
He got angels everywhere. He got vessels everywhere. And then not only that, it's going to explain to us about the Most High. Read that out. Sirach and the Apocrypha 23:19. Started
17.
yeah. Sirach 23:17. All bread is sweet to a whoremonger. He will not leave off till he die. Read that again up. All bread is sweet to a whoremonger. Everything is sweet to a whoremonger. And that's in all categories. If you're a whoremonger of money, getting the money any kind of way is sweet to you. If it's women, if any type of woman is sweet to you because you're a whoremonger.
Cause guess,
Go ahead.
hold up. Cause guess what? He don't care if the sister got the club foot, got one arm, got no eye. Sister ain't don't care if he got one leg.
You got that thing on it.
He got that thing on it and they want it.
That's
All bread is
All
sweet. Fat, skinny, tall, dark, handsome, light, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Man or woman, yeah, got one, whatever.
Go ahead, Captain Jill, Bob.
Read on up. All bread is sweet to a whoremonger. He will not leave off till he die. He will not leave off till he die. That's gluttonous, man. So a whoremonger gonna be gluttonous in anything that they do. And they ain't gonna leave off till they die. Read on. A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? A man who committed adultery with his wife, trying to go and creep to the hotel room, saying, who sees me? You know, he think he's doing it on the low. You know, I am compassed about with darkness. The walls covered me. He think the walls in that hotel covered him. Not knowing that true, somebody probably got a camera up in that thing, knowing how they do these days. But not only that, the Lord is watching. You can go hide in the hotel room, it don't matter. Read on. And nobody seeth me. What did he say? And nobody seeth me. What need cover me? And no, so like, what need I fit to fear?
Read that again now.
What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sin. That's just like the devil. To think that the Most High won't remember your sins. That's wicked. That's what the white man think. The Lord ain't gonna remember my sins. He ain't did nothing to me yet. That's what a whoremonger think too. That's what somebody in sin think. The Lord he ain't gonna remember this. I'm gonna do this little thing in secret. The Lord ain't gonna know nothing about it. Read on now. Such a man only feared the eyes of men, because they only fear it if somebody sees them. They're not worried about if the Creator is seeing them.
That's right.
They ain't worried about if he got an angel sitting right in that room with you seeing him. But they worried about if a man sees him. The man can't do that. But the Most High God can. Read on. And knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. What is the eyes of the Lord are? The eyes of the Lord are 10 times brighter than the sun.
I'll read that again.
The eye of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. 10,000 times brighter than the sun. We can't even look up at the sun in the way that it is. And they say that the Lord's eyes is 10,000 times brighter. That means he got his eye on everything moving, man. We cannot escape the Most High God. Read on. Beholding all the ways of men. What he beholding at? All the ways of men. All the ways of what we doing around here, man. He created us. He set forth the laws, statutes, and commandments that we should keep. And he keep an eye on us to see if we're going to keep those things or break those things.
That's right.
For the time of judgment. Read on. And considering the most secret parts. And he's considering the most secret parts. So he already know what you're going to do before you do it. You think you being slick, the Most High already got an angel sitting in there waiting on you, man. Jotting that thing down. But we can't get away from the eyes of the Most High God. That's all I got.
And like I said, man, that's a heavy precept because a lot of times, like I say, Most High cut the lights on your behind. He's seeing everything. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 27, because even Moses was warning us when we was in the wilderness about these things, dealing with certain sins. Know that we was going to still be rebellious. even brothers and sisters that's in the truth. We have to learn to shake this thing. This is the class for brothers and sisters that's in the truth. Because we should know better. Especially brothers and sisters that's been in the truth for at least 5 years. You know, you want to see a pattern of good works. You're going to have some down days, but guess what? You want to get back right up again. And guess what? Have that day better than the last. The week better than that week. The month better than that month. You want to constantly be growing in the truth and understanding of the scriptures. Brothers and sisters, read this.
Deuteronomy 31:27.
For I know thy rebellion.
Read that again.
For I know thy rebellion.
Moses knew the children of Israel rebelled. Because guess what? The Most High God showed it to him when we go to the book of 2 Ezra. When he was up there in the mountain of Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights. The Most High God was showing him the beginning, the ending, and the latter time. So he knew that Israel was going to go off. The Most High God always has the prophets to warn us before trouble comes upon us. Hey, don't do that. You know what's going to happen if you do that. But a lot of times, hey, our people love their rebellious state that they're in. Read that again.
Deuteronomy 31:27. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiffness. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, ye have been rebellious against the Lord. And how much more after my death?
Read that last part.
Ye have been rebellious against the Lord. And how much more after my death?
And Moses let them know, slack you, man. I got to check that. Because it flexes your spirit when we got our heads up on things and we still miss the mark, man. This is like looking at the newspaper. What do you call that thing? What you carry out? That
Almanac.
Almanac. Exactly. All praise. Like an almanac, telling you the things before that they happened, man. This is the ultimate almanac. The almanac don't have nothing on the Bible. It's telling us, guess what? Even before we get in trouble, this is gonna happen. If you do this, this is what's gonna happen. So guess what? Do this so that don't happen.
Even the times when Most High was telling Moses at the time that the children of Israel were gonna be in sin, and he was sitting there listening, he had to stop him and like, hey, you need to go check on your people.
That's right.
They doing it right now.
For real.
When I'm telling you that they're gonna be doing it in the future, they already started. They down there building the calf. And that's when you see when Moses going down there, Deuteronomy going down there, man, y'all tripping. Because then now he's going to tell them, he's revealing to them, man, y'all sinning right now, and y'all going to be sinning when I'm dead. And y'all going to go through a whole lot of stuff, because Moses showed it to you.
That's even dealing with our children. We do say the same thing about children. Hey, don't do that, man, because this right here is going to happen. Guess what? In this truth, brothers that been here and we done been in this walk, we tell brothers and sisters, don't do this because this right here is going to happen. And guess what brothers and sisters do sometimes? Not all the time, but sometimes, guess what they do? They go right out there and do it, and they come back, dang, bro, you told me. I said, guess what? The Most High I already showed this so many times that it was going to happen.
And hold up, even put your eye out.
Yeah,
That's what they gonna tell him. And then next thing you know, his nickname Left Eye.
And even to add to our point, a lot of times even when brothers and sisters ask them for counsel, they already got it in their damn head that they ain't gonna take the counsel no damn way. They got it made up in their mind. Nigga, I ain't listen to SIT. Nothing you got to say. Or it's not us, it's the Bible. Nigga, you can't tell me nothing. These are the things that they saying in their head. They already got it made up in their mind. So why even take the counsel? Why even waste brothers' time, man? Most High gotta check their spirit. Give me 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 23.
And when you're in the spirit of people coming, you can see that in their spirit that sometimes they like, I got a question. And their question is not for you to answer it. It's going against what you're teaching is what they're trying to come.
Yeah, trying to be slick.
Yeah.
Like brothers can't see that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you got
Go ahead,
you got a question, brother. You got to say.
Yeah.
No one ain't got no, you so in line, man. That's what they do.
That's crap.
Yeah, I got a question, but what they question is they want you to say something so they can rebuttal what you saying.
Exactly.
They trying to set you up because they got something. They know what you finna, and most time they know what you finna bring out.
Yeah.
But then guess what? A person that's learned, brother, come on, man. What you trying to go? Where you trying to get at? What you trying, sister? What you trying to do? Because guess what? The person that's learned, when they had a rebuttal, we gonna come right back with the answer to their rebuttal. Because we learned and we understand.
Because this is a heavy scripture, because this goes into, guess what? This is some of the secret sins that our sisters and our brothers have on them, the spirit of rebellion. I'm talking about a rebel spirit, boy. They read this out.
1 Samuel 15:23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft.
Read that again.
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft.
So the Most High God is letting us know, brothers and sisters, that guess what? When you being rebellious to this word, because brothers, as being prophets, brothers should be bringing out the scriptures so they can't refute it. Rebellion is sin. When the Most High God tell you in the law what you should do, no, I think I should. When you instantly said, I think, brother and sister, you done lost. You leaning on what? On your own understanding. Your mindset should be the Bible's mindset. Husbands and wives' mindset should be the same. It is a scripture for that. Read that again.
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry.
You know those brothers and sisters that got that stubborn spirit on them. It says it is as iniquity and idolatry. Having a stubborn spirit, that's sin, man. The Most High God hate that, man. He's not personally coming down here dealing with you. Lord forbid that, man. The Most High, like we all say, hold up, hey, Gabriel, hold up, Christ. Let me go down there and take care of this business right quick. This sister need my undivided attention. This brother need my undivided attention. Well, you hate to see that day, man. Read on.
See, because if he come down here, man, just imagine when he speak, it's thunder, it's lightning, it's tempest. Just imagine he come down. Can't no man see the Most High and live. So how is he gonna come visit you, man?
Well, Moses looked at his back and started getting deformed. Came down the house, I had to go to Emancipation after he looked at the back of the Most High.
Read on, dog.
1 Samuel 15:23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he has also rejected thee from being king.
Going into Saul, because Saul had a wicked, rebellious spirit on him. The Most High God told him to slay all the Amalekites. No, he gonna save some stuff for himself. That's rebellion. That's breaking God's commandments. And guess what? Saul was judged for that. He paid the ultimate debt. He and his sons was put to death, man. And he was a king. See how quickly you could be in rulership position and quickly fall from grace? We see many brothers and sisters that come up in here, man. Brothers who thought had a good understanding of the scriptures. Years later, you see them bug the hell out, man. And that thing break my heart, but the more and the longer you stand the truth, you start to get immune to that thing, man. Your skin starts to thicken, because guess what? Brother and sister have been warned countless times. Now the Most High God is putting a reprobated mind on them. So you can't have no pity, man. You just can't. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 27.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 27. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, you have been rebellious against the Lord. And how much more after my death? Read on, gather unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears.
Once again, he's telling the children of Israel, this is the only people that Moses was dealing with. Yes, it was a mixed multitude, but you clearly see, call me the elders, your officers of your tribes, the people of Israel. Read on up.
That I may speak these words in their ears, and call heaven and earth to record against them.
So that day was recorded against our people. Guess what? The Bible. That's where the record is being jotted down at. Read on up.
For I know that after my death you will utterly corrupt yourself.
Read that again.
For I know that after my death you will utterly corrupt yourself.
We utterly corrupted ourselves by going into what? Going into different type of religions. Islam, Baptist, Christianity. You won't find these things in the Bible. Those are man-made religions. Why would you want to worship a man-made religion when we worship the one true God's laws, statutes, and commandments? That's how we corrupted ourselves. Now we don't know who the hell we are. You got the Asiatic black man out there, whatever the hell that is, man. Egyptologists, thinking we Hamites. And that's our job out there as a nation of people, brothers, to show our people who they are, man. Give them the correct understanding of the Bible. We don't know.
For I know that after my death you will utterly corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you.
Because the Most High God gave us the way, but guess what? We always want to be rebellious and stiff-necked and turn aside out of the way. Read on up.
And evil will befall you in the latter days.
Read that again.
And evil will befall you in the latter days.
Guess what? We in those latter days. This is a book of prophecies. We see these things occurring. Police. I'm talking about Brother George Floyd's blood wasn't even cold before they killed another brother. How much more do we need to see? Guess what? They not sparing old nor young. Sister Betty can get it too with the laws, man. They laying up behind down too. Children's, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, they don't have no pity. And a lot of times the Most High God is saying, why should I when I don't warn y'all? Now I got to prove y'all, man. No other things happen to no other nation of people but the Israelites, which are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And we challenge the pastors to bring forth other situations where we see differently. Read on up.
Because you will do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands.
So we pissed the Most High God off, so he had to bring the judgment. Give me 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 62. The Apocrypha, if you don't have an Apocrypha, this book is called the Hidden Books. If you don't have this, you are missing part of a Bible. For the new brothers and new sisters that's in the building. This is what the so-called man took out in the Renaissance era, because it's a lot of heavy information in there. This talks about the history of the neither Jew nor Greek, because all captivities is in the Bible. So why from Malachi to Matthew, where is that history at? That's the history of when we was in the Greek captivity. So that gives you understanding of Galatians chapter 3 verse 28, which Christians love to run to. Give me 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 60. Start at verse 61 up.
Second Ezra 16:61. He made man and put his heart in the midst of the body, and gave him breath, life, and understanding.
So the Most High God made the Israelites and breathed into us the breath, which was the law, statutes, and commandments. Adam, from the time of Adam, the commandments was on the planet Earth. So we know a lot of times Christians love to say the book of Moses, the law of Moses, is the law of God. Read on up.
Yea, and the spirit of Almighty God, which made all things, and searcheth out all hidden things in the secrets of the earth.
He searches out all these things. The Most High God, nothing is hid from the Most High God. The thoughts that we may have. Read on up.
63. Surely he knows your invention.
Read that again up.
Surely he knows your invention.
He see the things that brothers and sisters do secretly. He know if you trying to plan to go cheat on your wife. He know when you plan to go sneak and smoke some weed. Commit boredom. The Most High God sees all these things. Guess what? He knows your thoughts. The wicked thoughts that wives have about their husbands. And guess what? Husbands have about their wives. He knows these things, but he gonna lay them things before brothers and sisters in that day of judgment, man. Read on up.
Surely he knows your inventions and what you think in your hearts.
Sisters hating sisters, brothers hating brothers. He knows these things. So guess what? We got to do away with those things, brothers and sisters. We got to put those things off. Read on up.
Even them that sin.
Even them that what?
Even them that sin.
Read on up.
And would hide their sin.
And would what?
And would hide their sin.
And people that's thinking that they slicker than the Most High God. Oh, he ain't gonna see this right here. You know, he ain't gonna see that I'm doing, that I'm secretly got crafty counsel like Oxnam is bringing out against your brother, against your sister. that you know you want to ask a question, but you already know where it's going. Come on, man. Read on up.
64. Therefore, hath the Lord exactly searched out all your works.
Read that again.
Therefore, hath the Lord exactly searched out all your works.
The Bible says he exactly searched out these things. He know the time and the date, when you're going to do it, when you're preparing to do it, and when you're going to accomplish it. He know all these things to a T. The Most High God is a master planner, man. You cannot think above the Most High God. You know, Negroes think they slick, boy, especially when we be out there on the street. They thinking they deep, thinking they finna come up, like you say, with a question, then you trying to take over the whole damn camp. Brother, we see right through that, man. Give me that. Get up out of here, man. Let us bring out these laws, statutes, and commandments for our brothers and sisters. They the ones that need it. We're not trying to hear none of that talk, man. Our people is in a dire situation. Read on now.
64. Therefore, hath the Lord exactly searched out all your works, and he will put you all to shame.
Read that last part again, man.
And he will put you all to shame.
He's going to put every single last brother and sister to shame that's dealing in that type of spirit, man. These are some things we got to get a grip on, brothers and sisters. Read on now.
And when your sins are brought forth, you shall be ashamed before men.
Now when you on blast, now you ashamed. See, these are the lists that the Most High God have to go through to, guess what, embarrass our people, to shame our people into keeping the commandments. He got to put you on blast, man.
Man, you know what? If brothers don't see that every time we go to camp, man, y'all shouldn't even read the scripture, man.
And that's why y'all dealing with them brothers kind of tough. Most I say you got to put them on blast sometimes.
Man, look, and then when you see this, and then when y'all watching them videos, y'all should see the same thing. He putting them, look here. We go out every week, and I've been saying it for years. We go out every week, man. People been bringing their doctrines for years now, bringing it to us undefeated out there on the block. They come up in the school, bring their doctrines undefeated. Because the thing is, the Lord is giving the true prophets back the Bible again, man. His words ain't gonna never be ashamed, man, nor confounded. If you keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, he said these are two things that he promised us. You will never be ashamed nor confounded. So if we bringing it out the Bible, that's what we ain't gonna come confound us, man. But with this, when you try to mock the Most High, yes, he's gonna make a mockery out of you. That's what make people want to fight. Boy, it'd be funny, but they be ready to fight, boy. Especially when they get told with the scriptures, man. They ready to fight, man. All that Bible ain't real now.
That's right. But they just believed it 10 seconds ago.
And that's the thing, man. When we out on the streets, man, look. And sometimes people like, well, I like what you said. I just didn't want you to be that hard on it. Well, look, when you got a child, there's some children you ain't got to do nothing to. You know, hey, that one, hey, come here, and they coming. Then you got that one, hey, come here. He take off running out the back door. You be like, you gotta go at him. He's stiff-necked, this little son of rebellious. That's what the Most High telling us. Hey, look, I'm gonna send y'all out there in the streets, but your brothers that you finna go talk to, they stiff-necked and rebellious. It ain't time to be trying to play with them, and that's what everybody wants to do. Well, just and them moms up there trying to rip your head off of you. No, I'm dealing with a stiff-necked, rebellious child. And that's how we got to go at him. Yeah, we try to talk to him, hey, but as soon as I don't get, okay, all right, bring my belt.
That's right. Because guess what? Sometimes you need to be surgical out there. Sometimes we do use a scalpel. But sometimes you got to bring a damn hammer, man.
Yeah.
Like we always say, people out there, babies, kids. Our people out there destroyed, man. And you want us to be gentle with these people, even people in the truth, man. Flex my damn spirit, man, for real.
Because obviously they don't understand it. They must ain't read Jude. Because if you read Jude verse 21 through 23, some people you gonna save with compassion, but some people you got to put the fear of the Lord in them, man.
Drop kicking.
You got to, because sometimes you got to. That's like obviously when brothers see that and they don't understand it. Dang, he should have known. Some people you got to save with fear.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like 65. It says that when your sins are brought forth, you shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day.
That's right.
I know y'all remember we went out to the street camp last week, and the brothers the Issachar brother and the Jewish brother came up the week before and they were humble, listening. Then the next one they came out, Issachar brother eyes redder than what? Little Jeremiah shoes, man. They was loaded. Come up and talk about the Bible and then we cut them up with the scriptures. And they own sins became their accuser then. Then they want to fight. Brother took his shirt off, want to fight Mac, but he didn't want to fight me. He told me, you know what, man, I ain't got a problem with you. But that Negro right there, like, man, he the biggest one. I mean, I'm big, but he's 6'6". Like, brothers own a sin that if we were accused of that in that point. Now he's ashamed. Now he's ashamed. Now we done call him out. Oh, you loaded trying to speak for the Most High. Right. I'm a prophet of the Most High, and you out here loaded.
For real, man. That ain't no damn
He's so
shit.
mad. He's so mad. I guess he's so mad. He said, "Yeah, I whoop all y'all, but hey, one at a time, y'all go around."
And see, this is what our people don't understand. We're literally just doing what the Bible told us to do. Mm-hmm. Let me get 1 Thessalonians 4:8 real quick.
That's right, man.
We're not going out here making this stuff up just because you believe, you feel, and you think. That don't have nothing to do with what God told us to do. So we come out here and we bring these scriptures out, and the way we doing it, like I brought out, some people you gotta save with fear. Some people you save with humility. Some people you gotta use different methods to save our people. But people see what they don't like, and then they just, y'all mean, y'all racist, this and that. Well, the thing about it is, you not despising us. We just vessels. Read that for me out.
The book of 1
Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 8. He therefore that despiseth not man, but God.
If you ain't despising us, we ain't wake ourselves up. We didn't call ourselves to do this. The Most High called all us to do this. So we going out doing what He told us to do, and people get mad. They not despising us. That's why we not worried about it, and we go right back out there the next week. Because you ain't despising us, you despising the Most High God. Read on.
Who has also given us unto His Holy Spirit.
He gave us His Holy Spirit to do this. So that's why we got solace in doing this work and doing it how we doing it. No matter the people who got a problem with how we doing it is the ones who got a problem with authority and order. They don't want to be in order. That's what we do. When you do a census on that thing, that's what you'll realize. People who come, the way y'all talking to people, because you don't want to be in order. That's what it is. Okay, we got you. But we don't do what the Lord told us to do regardless.
And that's a desire of all of us. We would love to go out there all the time and be able to go to somebody and say, hey, brother, you know who you are? No, I don't. Then you be able to teach. We love that. We wish we can get that with everybody we speak to. But we're not dealing with
Father knows best kids.
Yes, we're not dealing with that one. We dealing with, like he said, we dealing with baby's kids. I mean, baby's kids at the 3rd degree. They would literally whoop baby's kids. What we dealing with, they would just beat them. They would kick. We'd be like, "Damn, what baby kid?" These rebellious Negroes beat them up, whoop and put them out the house. And that's what we dealing with.
And you know, they all good when you bring it to them. Even the ones that's all good, when you can teach them, they all good. But when you call that secret sin in them,
boy.
But the demon just come out, man.
Yeah.
They just take over everything, man.
Yeah. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 65. We're going to read down. Yeah, the 67. Okay.
2nd Ezra 16 and 65. And when your sins are brought forth, you shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day.
Like we say, even many accounts, brothers and sisters dealing in sin, and when it's brought forth to you, guess what? You'll be ashamed in that day. And that's what the Most High God has to do to brothers and sisters, to get them to understand. That's why when it's a problem in the house, guess what? Bring out the scriptures. It don't do no sense to argue back and forth. Let's get straight to the scriptures, man. Let's just get straight to them to get the understanding thereof. And if you reject that, you're not rejecting me. Guess what? You rejecting the Most High God, man. Get straight to the scriptures. Read this. Read on.
Verse 66. What will you do? Or how will you hide your sin?
Read that again,
What will you do?
What you gonna do? Read on out.
Or how and ye hide your sins before God and his angels.
And how you gonna hide sins from a being, a deity that's eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun? How you gonna do that, man? You can't do it. Guess what? It's only one way. The Most High God's way. What it say? Get down or lay down. It's just that plain and simple, man. Read on up.
Behold, God himself is the judge. Fear him.
Do what?
Fear him.
Don't fear man.
Fear him.
Fear Esau.
Fear him.
Read on up.
Leave off from your sins.
It's letting you know, fear God and leave off your sins, because guess what? You're gonna have to pay the piper, man, sooner or later. Read on up.
And forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever.
To do what?
To meddle no more with them forever.
Because a lot of times people like to play in their sins, man. They want to dibble and dab, do this, do that. Brother, stop, man. Because guess what? That sin will pull you in, and guess what? You pull in 7 more wicked spirits.
That's right.
Sister, stop playing like this. Stop being rebellious, because guess what? Most time put 7 stronger wicked spirits on you, man. Stop meddling in those types of sins, man. We got to stop that, brothers and sisters, man. Because you never know. Today could be your last day. Do you want to go see the Most High God and not knowing that you did do all that you could to be in this truth? Read on up.
So shall God lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble.
So when we trust in the Most High God, guess what? He leads us forth from all trouble. We constantly see our people in turmoil, but guess what? The Most High God is saving us from. All praise to the Most High. He keeps his brothers and sisters of the congregation in perfect health while coronavirus is ravaging the earth. Brothers and sisters being able to provide for their families, man. That's the power of the Most High God, man. For us to celebrate, we got to keep bringing this up, our Passover. And guess what? We had a beautiful time, man. That's the power of the Most High God. That's the power that we serve, man. Give me 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22. Because even like touching on more of lust. Lust is not always sexual. A lot of times, anything, money can be a lust that people deal with. Their jobs. People can lust after their jobs as well, man. Putting their job above the Most High. Many things go into lust and idolatry. All of these things, your children, that's right. Your wives, your husbands. Should none come before the Most High God in this work, man. Nothing, man. And that's what we try to put into every brother, every sister, every child, man. Read this,
The book of 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22. Flee also youthful lust.
Read that again,
Flee also youthful lust.
Because guess what? Before we came into the truth, now that we're in the truth, guess what? We're still children. Brother may be 70-some years old, but that first day walking into you a day old. You just started all over again. So we have to flee youthful lust. The things that we did with in the world, guess what? No longer do those things. Because even now, even I see it more clearly. Like I said, I had dealt with lust. Like I say, but now when I see our sisters dressed out of order, you look, but it's a look of disgust, a look of embarrassment, like, damn, sister don't know that she's a princess. It's not a look of, I'm trying to hit that, I want that thing. No, that's not that type of damn look. It's a look because I want to see my sister do better. I want to teach her, according to the Bible, what it means to be an Israelite woman, according to the Most High God, man, to carry themselves with respect. Read that again,
Flee also youthful lust.
We have to flee those youthful lusts. Matter of fact, give me 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 9. You know we just be the spirit, man. We have to flee those things, because when brothers dealing with youthful lust, sisters dealing with youthful lust, whatever the lust may be, like I said, it's not just sexual. Guess what? That person is still in a childish mind state.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 9. For we know in part, and we prophesy.
Jump down to verse 11 now.
Verse 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child.
So guess what? When we was children, meaning children in the world, guess what? We spake as children. We used all type of vulgar language, said whatever we wanted to say on our mind. But now that we're in the truth, we should be able to pump brakes on the things that we say. We should have a grown-up mind state, a biblical mind state according to the Bible. Read that again, huh?
1 Corinthians 13:11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a
And
child.
we understood as children, being in the Word. We acted upon our impulses. God's laws help us to put that in check, man. We no longer can do the things that we did in the world, man. We don't know.
As a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man,
So when he did what?
but when I became a man,
We don't know.
I put away childish things.
He did what?
I put away childish things.
But once you grow up in the knowledge of the truth, guess what? You shouldn't tangle in old sins. You should have a better grasp on those things. We know we'll struggle, but guess what? You should win more than you lose. That's the point. Because sin is always going to be there with us, brothers and sisters. Like Paul, like I brought out in the Wednesday class. Even when we do good, wickedness is there with us. Sin is there with us, but guess what? You want to have more righteousness than wickedness. That is the key, brothers and sisters. Give me the book of, let's go back to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22.
Second Timothy 2:22. Flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness.
But do what?
Follow righteousness.
What is righteousness according to the Bible, Brother Brandon?
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 25.
Let's get there for edification for brothers that's in the class. Let's get there. Let's see what righteousness is, because I love to bring it up. What Officer Yara used to do when he was in the Word. He thought cutting Sister Jenkins' grass on the Sabbath was a righteous thing. It may seem like a righteous thing, but let's see how the Most High God feel about that thing. Like we say, what is righteousness according to the Bible, not according to what you think? He already gave an answer. Look at it now.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God.
Read that one more time for brothers and sisters.
And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as He has commanded us.
Read that again, huh?
Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our God, as He has commanded us.
Let's go back to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22.
So when you're dealing in righteousness according to the Bible, what we just read, was the righteousness of God's righteousness, and not our own righteousness. So the precept, when somebody asks you about, well, what about righteousness? When we read, even on the street, that should be a precept brothers should have lined up. Well, you're supposed to be judging righteously. What's the precept you should go to? Deuteronomy 6:25. Go ahead,
Read verse 22 again, huh?
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22. Flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call the Lord out of a pure heart.
That's the key. We want to have a pure heart when we're dealing in the truth. Like a lot of times we say brothers and sisters go through the motions, their heart is really not pure. They're not not doing it in sincerity. Just going through the motions. The Most High will not to be that way, brothers and sisters. Give me Proverbs chapter 28, verse 13.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 13. He that covers his sins shall not prosper.
Notice that we constantly, when you read in the Bible, that's why I don't understand Christianity make me sick sometimes. Because you constantly reading about sin. Well, what is sin? Sin is the breaking of God's laws, statutes, and commandments. So, how's the laws done away with when that's all the Bible talks about?
That's right.
That makes no sense, man. Our people have been dummied down by Christian apologist theology schools. Dummied down. Do we ever think the people that brought us over here on slave ship would ever teach us the correct way about the Bible or anything other than just to be a good slave? Come on, man. We got to come up out of this nonsense. Read that again.
Proverbs 28:13. He that covers his sins shall not prosper.
So when you hide in your sins or trying to cover your sins, guess what? You will not prosper. The things that you do, guess what? These things are here. We don't, shown.
And the thing is, if Christ coming back, how he's going to judge the people? You think he's going to judge about what he say, or he's going to judge about the word of God? Guess what? He's going to call out what? If you're going to make it to the kingdom, what he's going to call out? He's going to call out your sins. And this right here better out. Your deeds and what you done better outweigh it. So guess what? He's gonna weigh your sin. He's gonna look at your sin. Well, this right here wasn't blotted out, so I'm gonna look at this sin that you committed. So if sin is a transgression of the law, then how in the hell they think they're gonna make it to the kingdom?
That's right.
Without the law.
Come on, man.
And it ain't gonna be nothing new either. It's gonna be, he's gonna get the Bible. Like he said, he's gonna get this book, he's gonna get your book. He's gonna line it up. Hold on. This book say don't do this. And this one say do that. And you got check marks, the X's out your paper for all this. you looking at your paper and all they doing is writing X's down there. Oh, you looking like, ooh.
Get out of line.
Ooh, maybe I got the next one right. You failed. You failed.
Read verse 13 again. You got some more?
Nah, you hear him say step to the side, Clyde. You know.
Right. Read that up.
Proverbs 28:13. He that covers his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy.
But when you confessing your sin, guess what? And forsaketh them, guess what? You will have mercy. How else is brothers supposed to know what to pray for if brothers and sisters not confessing their sins one to another? Give me James chapter 5, verse 16. Because you confess to the Most High God, but guess what? Also to your brothers and sisters. Because we have to know what to pray for. What spirit to pray for to get that spirit up off of you. Don't be ashamed of those things, man. We understand that we was in the world, man. That's why I don't be ashamed to say that I had dealt in lust. I'm going to conquer that thing, man.
And that's another thing, too. I'm glad you said that. Somebody brings something to you, it's not so you can just run around and start gossiping about it.
That's right.
If they coming to you, that's what you do. You go and pray about it. You
That's
know,
right.
I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna tell such and so. I'm gonna tell brother such and so. No, that's not what that's about. It's for you to help the brother. If you ain't helping your brother, man, be like, hey, look, hey, go talk to somebody else. I can't deal. Leave him alone. Don't get in there and just, I'm gonna just tell him. Cut that bull crap out. Cut it out, man. That's how we get out of a lot of stuff out of Israel. We don't have a lot of problems when we do what the Most High God says. Just simple rules. As respecting each other. Go ahead, bro.
What you want to read? Verse 14? Jump up to verse 14.
Proverbs.
Yeah. James chapter 5, verse 14.
Okay.
This is a precept to James. This is what James was saying. Paul was saying. A lot of times when Paul's writing, he's pulling things out of the Old Testament. He said it in a different way. You got to understand and learn to use the correlation. It may say it differently, but it has the same meaning. Read this.
James, chapter
5 verse 14. Is any sick among you?
Spiritually or physically. Read on out.
Let them call for the elders of the church.
Let them do what?
Let them call for the elders of the church.
That's what we tell brothers and sisters. When you're dealing with some things physically or spiritually, reach out to brothers in leadership, man. So guess what? We can put the word out to the congregation to throw up prayers for you. Read on out.
And let them pray over him.
And let them do what?
Pray over him.
Read on out.
Anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord.
Also, it's okay to anoint brothers and sisters with the oil of the Lord. Read on out.
And the prayer of faith shall save the sick.
Shall do what?
The prayer of the faith shall save the sick.
When brothers and sisters is praying in the faith of Yahushua and the Most High God, it shall save the sick. Brothers and sisters have sick, wicked spirits out there, man, that need to be prayed over. But only when they confess it. Because we don't know. I wish the Most High God gave us all knowledge and power to understand and know what a sister or brother is dealing with to just come, but we don't have those types of powers. We don't,
And the Lord shall raise him up, and if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him.
And they shall be what?
Forgiven him.
Read on. This is the point that we want.
Confess your faults one to another.
Read that again.
Confess your faults one to another.
That's why the Most High God builds up or sets up structure. Because like we say, when brothers and sisters is dealing with some things, brothers in leadership can give them the proper scriptures to go to. Read on up.
And pray for one another.
And what?
And pray for one another.
Read on up.
That you may be healed.
That you may be what?
Healed.
Read on up.
The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
It says the effectual fervent prayer, a deep prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So guess what? Don't come to us, brothers know that's dealing in wicked spirits, sisters dealing in wicked spirits. It says a righteous man. People that know to keep the commandments. Because the Most High God is not hearing sinners' prayers. So you want brothers and sisters that have good spirits on them of the congregation praying for you, so that those prayers can be heard. Give me the book of John chapter 8, verse 3.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 3. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst,
Read that again now.
slack. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst, they said
to him,
Master, this
woman was taken
in adultery. In the very act.
In the what?
In the very act.
So this sister got caught hands down,
in the cookie jar.
hands in the cookie jar. So they brought her forth to Christ. Read on up.
Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou?
So the scribes and Pharisees was always constantly trying to catch Christ up in his words. Constantly. What is your understanding of this? So they could have chance to reprove him. But they don't understand that, guess what? They was dealing with the master teacher. He is the word made flesh. Read on up.
Verse 6. This they said, tempting him.
Doing what?
Tempting him.
Read on up.
That they might have to accuse him. But Yahweh stooped down, and with his finger wrote on the ground, as though he heard them not.
So Christ ain't paying them no damn attention, man. He just going about his business. It says this sister was caught in adultery in the very act, because we know some sisters and brothers dealing these types of things.
Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, let me clear something up. The thing about the accusers was telling that, so we caught in the very act. See, in order for somebody to get put to death or go under the law, that means you had to first of all know that she was married to another man. Second, you had to be looking in the window to see that they doing what they doing. So when he came, see, the most Christ was recognizing everything that was going on. We caught in the act. You caught in the act. What was that, running a train or something? Because that's the only way you could have been in jail. See, they was trying to accuse somebody, but they had to have. So what were you doing?
That's right.
What were you out of place? And when you look at that, that's why I say slow down when you're reading that, and you will see a lot deeper. Like, wait a minute, hold on. What was y'all doing? If y'all caught in the act, where were y'all at? Why y'all over there?
Hold your peace, sister. I know, hold your
You
peace.
sinning just as well as you trying to accuse her of sin. That's why he said when your cat's first phone, that man dropped a rock on his foot. Boom, house. And walked home. Go ahead, Al.
Read verse 6 again.
John 8:6. This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Yahweh stooped down, and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not.
Read on.
So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her.
So Christ was even cutting them up. You want to bring accusations, like you said, you want to hold this sister's feet to the fire, but you're not holding your own feet to the fire. Christ straight cut them up, man. Practice what you preach. So guess what? Don't be a hypocrite, because this is what the scribes and Pharisees was known for doing. They'll tell you to do something, but they themselves wouldn't be doing it. So Christ straight cut them to the core, man, because we know that everybody deal with something. When brothers and sisters telling you that they not dealing with nothing, you're a damn lie. Stop it, man. We know everybody deal with something, man. And guess what? When you're not admitting that, you covering your sins. You won't prosper in that sense, man. Now guess what? We know that some sins are heavier than others. Like we know some brothers, some sisters may struggle with celebrating their birthday, smoking weed, doing all types of holidays and holidays, Christmas and so forth. And guess what? Some brothers and sisters may have heavier sins like lust, strong lasciviousness, dealing in homosexuality, dealing in lesbianism. Those are some of those heavier sins, man, that brothers and sisters have to learn to shake, man. Read on up.
Verse 8.
And again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground.
So he ain't paying them no attention, man, because he already done cut them up. Read on up.
And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience.
Read that again,
And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience.
Because when you bringing up the scriptures to brothers and sisters that's doing wrong, it convicts them in their spirit. That's why you see all type of spirits when we out there teaching the word, because it was only made for us to keep it on a spiritual level and physically, so it affects us some type of way. When we saying something that you ain't doing according to the Bible, now my Jesus let me do anything I want to do. Sister Betty, that's not in the Bible, man. Stop. 1 John 3 and 4, 3 and 2, cut all that to shreds. He that said, I know him, and keep it not his commandment, is a liar. And the truth is not in there. Read on up.
Verse 9. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one.
Did what?
Went out one by one.
They left one by one.
Read on up, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Yahushua was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst.
So guess what? He cut them so far to shreds they walked. Where were the scribes and Pharisees at then? Because guess what? The righteous stand bold as a lion. If you was righteous, guess what? Why you just stay and bring forth your strong reasoning? Read on up.
When Yahushua had lifted up himself, and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers?
Read that again, huh?
When Yahushua had lifted up himself, and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers?
Read on, huh?
Had no man condemned thee?
Had no man what?
Condemned thee?
Read on, huh?
She said, No man, Lord. And Yahushua said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go, and sin no more.
Christ gave the sister an opportunity to what? To repent. That's what we out there to do, brothers and sisters, man. Call our brothers and sisters in to repent, to leave off from their sins and don't meddle no more with them, especially secret sins.
And guess what? Christ always also showed us that we can judge, but we cannot condemn.
That's right.
That's two different things. And he's showing us the perfect way on how to handle a situation, man. We not here to bring, we not to condemn on somebody. We not to bring condemnation on somebody, but we are to judge righteously according to the law.
And like we said, judging is correcting your brother. Like I just broke it down beautifully. We're not passing judgment on our brothers and sisters. We're telling them what you are doing wrong according to the Bible and what you need to be doing right.
And also, with judgment,
is when two parties have a problem with each other and you bring it to the council and we go to the law to settle that dispute. That's another form of judgment, to settle disputes with these laws also.
Let's go to the book of 2 Samuel chapter 11 and verse 3. Touch on David, because that's why he wrote Psalms, because of this particular sin that he dealt in. But guess what? All praise to the Most High God. He corrected that thing and got back in the spirit. But the Most High God had to judge him. He not to see the things that we do, even though we, some type of punishment, man. Some type of judgment. Look for that thing, man. 2 Samuel chapter 11 and verse 3. Also touching on another part of adultery, a secret sin that Israel loved to deal in. Read this out.
Second Samuel.
Chapter 11, verse 3. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?
So David was requiring or acquiring about this sister. Jump up to verse 2, Salaki.
2 Samuel, chapter 11, verse 2. And it came to pass in the evening tide, that David arose from off his bed, and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon.
And the woman was very beautiful. So King David checking out this sister, man. You know, you can tell this is our people, man. Doing what we do. You know how brothers used to be in the hood checking out sisters, man. What your name is?
What's your name?
You know, we trying to come with some slick conversation, man. Brother got a little money, you know, flashing it. You know, King David coming out on the king's porch, letting himself, I'm the king, man. It's hard for you to resist me. Read on up.
Verse 3. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is
not this Bathsheba,
the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?
So they gave him understanding that, guess what, this sister is a married sister. So when you see brothers and sisters that's dealing in that type of spirit, guess what? It's the Most High God gave him that test right there, just like Officer Yara brought out. It's a brother or a sister that's telling, hey man, that sister married King David. That's a brother's wife, man. So the test is put that forward. Now let's see the results.
Hold up, he said, and the thing is, they not only told, he said they told his father who her father was and his wife.
That's right.
I mean, and her husband. They said, no, this is his daughter, and this is her husband. Look, and basically, look, King David, stay your tail away, man.
That's right. That's exactly what they're saying. Read verse 4.
Verse 4. And and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her.
So guess what? You know, King David being slick, money, put things forward, and I guess he gave her an offer she couldn't refuse. You know, and we know how a lot of times brothers with power do prey on sisters like that, man. Because guess what? Brother have prestige, may have money, may run some things in the hood, man. Y'all know how sisters love them bad boys. They're attracted to them bad boys, man. Men with power and prestige. Read on up.
And David and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her unclean.
When it goes into purified, because the Bible talks about in Leviticus, you have to wash your behind after you have sex. So after they did the do, she had to go take a bath and purify herself. Read on up.
And she returned unto her house.
Like, you know, it was nothing. Read on up.
And the woman conceived.
And the woman did what?
Conceived.
Read on up.
And sent and told David and said, I am with child.
So now she's talking about, you my baby daddy. You done got me pregnant. You know, what you gonna do? You know, I know that thing have been put forth to many brothers. What you gonna do? How's the pappy? You already know, man. Read on up.
Verse 6. And David sent to Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David.
So now he's consulting with the husband, because he know he done dealt wickedly with the sister. So now what do brothers do? Conjure up a plan, trying to get themselves out of that mess that they done got themselves into. Like we always say, trouble is easy to get into, but that thing hard as hell to get up out of, man. Hard to get out of. Read on up.
Verse 7. And when Uriah was coming to him, David demanded of him how Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war prospered.
Because they was at war during these times. King David's job was to take down the other nations so that Israel could reign supreme during these times. So that he could give his son Solomon peace in the kingdom on all sides. Read on up.
And David said to Uriah,
go down to the house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king.
So guess what? Now he's what? Giving them presents, trying to butter him up, you know, being secretly wicked. Uriah don't know what's going on, man. But King David do, because he already done did the do with the sister. Read on up.
But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house.
We don't know.
And when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down into his house, David said unto Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? When then dost thou not go down into thine house?
So he's asking them, because a lot of times, brothers, you can feel it with something going on with your wife. You can feel when your wife is not acting accordingly when they cheat. Sister Show can feel it when a brother is stepping out on them. It goes both ways. You got that feeling. Read on up.
And Uriah said unto David, the ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into my house to eat and to drink?
So King David trying to send him home, but Uriah was in the spirit, man. He's like, man, we at war, so I'm not gonna go home, even though I'm pretty sure King David thought he knew something was going on with his wife.
Man, y'all don't see how the storyline going. King David trying to make him go home and have sex with his wife, man. That's crazy. And that's something the Negro would do too, because they want to put that baby off the Bro, wicked in that bug, man. Hey, what precept is what King David doing right now? Can anybody tell me a precept? Anybody? Sirach 5 and 5 right quick. Let me go back, man.
I want to get a lesson out of that too.
David was on some wicked stuff, man. You get that out with it.
Sirach, chapter 5, verse 5. Concerning propriety, be not without fear to add sin unto sin.
Because that's what King David was doing. Instead of him coming straight, what he was doing, he just added sin unto sin, man. Because he didn't have the fear of the Lord in him at the time, because he lusted and wanted to cover that thing up. He just added sin unto sin, man. That's all I want on that.
Go ahead, Captain McAfee.
Yeah, go back to when we first started, that 2 Samuel 11 and 3. I want y'all to see this before, it's at the beginning. And that's what a lot of times why we be in trouble sometimes. Because first of all, we be out of order, and we be in places the Most High told us not to be. I don't celebrate birthday, but I'm going to go over there to see what's going on. Then you wonder why everybody tearing your butt up at the party, or your family hating on you. Because you ain't supposed to be there. You out of order. This is what King David was. Read that from the beginning, from the
2 Samuel 11 and 3.
And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite?
Sorry, start at 1. I want to hit 1 first. That's what I want.
Verse 1. Chapter 11, verse 1. And it came to pass, after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth.
Go what?
When kings go forth.
Yeah, okay.
To battle.
He says at the time when kings go forth to battle. See, first of all, David was in the wrong place. David was a king. It was time at war. What you doing at the house? You're supposed to be leading the army. David, I'm going to tell you. That's what happens with us sometimes. You're supposed to be in class. But now you at the house, chill. I'm going to chill. Don't have a new moon tonight. Well, I'm going to chill. Out of line, out of place. Then you wonder why these things come upon you. But if you were where you were supposed to be, if David was at war, he wouldn't have to murder a man. If David was at war, he wouldn't have committed adultery. Unless some woman walked across the field or somewhere, they were shooting and killing each other. When you're in the right place where God told you to be, you ain't got to worry about falling into sin. But when you're not where God told you to be and where you're supposed to be, that's when you fall into these other places. Then you try to do it in secrecy. Ooh, let me hide this. God dang. No, if your butt would have been where you're supposed to be, you wouldn't even have to deal with that. That's what all I wanted to get out. I just want to see it, show y'all that at the beginning, that it was showing y'all that. Like I said, when y'all read this Bible, take your time. Don't just rush through it and just say I read it. Nuh-uh. Take your time. This is a lesson on each line.
That's it.
Let's go back to 2 Samuel chapter 11 and verse 9. Second Samuel chapter 11 and verse 9. Oh, verse 11. Yeah, we're going to go back to 2 Samuel. Start at verse 10. Go ahead,
2 Samuel, chapter 11, verse 10. And when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down unto his house, David said unto Uriah, Camest thou not from thy journey? When then didst thou not go down unto thine house? And Uriah said unto David, The ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into mine house to eat and to drink and to lie with my wife, as thou livest, as thy soul liveth? I will not do this thing.
And even like Captain Jezebel say, this is the plan that David was trying to conjure up to put, but the Most High God had other plans. Hold on, right?
Verse 12. And David said to Uriah, Tarry here today also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and the morrow. And when David had called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And at even he went out to lie on his bed with the servants of his Lord, but went not down to his house.
So even ate and drank with King David, and he got him drunk, so that he would know the plan that he's conjuring up. Read verse 14 up.
And it came to pass in the morning that David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter saying, Set Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle.
Now King David was wicked as hell during this time, man. He sent him a letter signing his own debt to send to a brother. I'm talking about just wicked, but guess what? That's why he wrote the book of Psalms, to repent a lot of those things, man. And even when we go to Acts, it tells you that the Most High God's heart is after King David's heart, after he repented. That's the whole point, brothers and sisters. Read on out.
And retire you from him, that he may be smitten and die.
That he may be what?
Smitten and die.
Going into Captain Jezebel's point, this brother is adding sin to sin. Because like I said, once you tell a lie, guess what? You gotta keep telling that lie, man. Lies upon lies, man. So Uriah wanted his wife committed adultery, then he gonna have this brother killed, man. Wicked, man. Give me
Like they say, the best lies got the greatest memory.
Give me Psalms chapter 90, verse 8. All praise to the Most High. King David came up out of this spirit, man. And this is an example. We know our brothers and sisters have did wickedness in the scriptures, but guess what? Some of them came up out of those things. And this is for brothers and sisters in the congregation. We always want to make this thing relate. No matter the wickedness that you done did in the world, guess what? If you truly repent, guess what? You will be forgiven of those things, man. Read this,
Psalms chapter 90, verse 8. Thou hast set our iniquities before thee.
Read that again.
Thou hast set our iniquities before thee. Our secret sins in the light of thy countenance.
So going back to what we brought this out earlier. Thou hast set our iniquities before thee, our secret sins in the light of thy countenance. Give me Psalms chapter 139, verse 23.
Psalm chapter 139, verse 23. Search me, O God.
As we start to repent, that's one of the things that we got to ask the Most High God. Search our spirit, search our souls, Lord. We don't know.
Search me, O God, and know my heart.
Because the Most High God's the only one that knows your heart. He's the only one that knows what your true intentions are. We don't know.
Try me and know my thoughts.
He says, try me and know my thoughts. Put me through certain situations and prove me. We don't know.
And see if there be any wicked ways in me, and lead me in the way everlasting.
And lead us in the way of everlasting. So we constantly want the Most High God And we constantly going to be tried and tested in this faith. Until guess what? You overcome those sins. Go ahead, Al.
I'm glad you hit it. Man, I was just sitting over here 30 minutes trying to find that scripture. There's one scripture. I'm glad you pulled it. I couldn't find it. But read that again. I wanna, because I heard a pastor one time say, this is the most dangerous scripture for a man to, dangerous prayer to pray to God. And I didn't never understand what he means. And then later on, as I grew in it, I was like, man, this dude is tripping. Because what he's saying, read that again.
Psalms 139 and 23. Search me, O God.
See, the fact of the matter, it was dangerous to him because he didn't want God to search him.
Right.
He didn't want God to look into him and see what's going on.
Right.
That's why he's like, that's the most dangerous scripture. You don't want us to pray that. I was like, why not?
Right.
You want to know inside, man, God, what am I doing wrong? In order for you to correct it, you got to ask the Most High to show me what I'm doing wrong. That's what you want. If you in this truth, that's what you want. That's why he tell us, go out there and tell them. They sins and they tell them what they doing wrong. That's the only way that's the only way most I say, I can't heal them if they ain't gonna know, if they don't know. Because they just keep doing it. But when you know, when you ask God, show me. And this man was scared of that. Read that.
Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts.
He said, man, look all in me. These people scared of that. That's what happens when you're out in that world. You don't want nobody to see that. No, don't search me. In fact, they opposite everything that's in there, that's what they pray. Don't search me. Like they say, don't see what I'm doing. I don't want you to prophesy them lies. Good things too. I want to hear the lies. That's what they do. That's what I'm glad you found it. I've been 30 minutes looking for that.
Oh, praise God. Spirit, man. Let's go into another little spirit. Give me the book of 1 Kings chapter 21 verse 1. Because we touched on lust, we touched on adultery, now we're going to touch on covetousness. Because we see a lot of that in Israel. You know, brothers and sisters got to shake that spirit as well, wanting what somebody else has had. We have to shake that Israel, man, especially being in the truth, man. First Kings chapter 21 and verse, we started verse 1 out.
First Kings chapter 21 verse 1.
And it came to pass after these things,
Then the Jezebel, having vineyard, which was in Jezebel, hard by the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria.
So this is King Ahab, king of Samaria. So this is the northern kingdom, king. And we know it should instantly compute when you see Samaria, of northern tribe. Was there any righteous kings of the northern kingdom, brothers? No. No righteous kings of the northern tribe. And guess what? This is just another list of wickedness. Read verse 21. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And Ahab spake unto Naboth, saying, give me thy vineyard.
So this brother Ahab, the king, he coveted this brother Naboth's land. We know not.
That I may
have it for a garden
of herbs.
So he wanted his garden to plant herbs. This is his. Now you got to understand that land was passed down from inheritance to inheritance. So if I give you this land, what am I going to give my children? What are they going to give their children in order for us to continue to build as a nation? Because on your land you have what? Resources. You have a way to provide for your family, and you have a way to, guess what, make ends meet. We don't know.
Because it is near unto my house, and I will give thee for a better vineyard than it. Or if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money.
So Ahab really trying to get it. He's trying to conjure, trying to pay for it. We don't know.
And Naboth said to Ahab, the Lord forbid me that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee.
Because guess what? In the scriptures it's telling us that guess what? Those inheritance was for that person. So you can pass down from generation. You even have laws to where you will work for a brother in order to get your land back. This is how you help keep a strong nation. Jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4. And Ahab came into his house, heavy and displeased, because of the word which Naboth the Jezebelite has spoken to him.
So guess what? He all pissed off in his feelings because guess what? Naboth turned him down. No, brother, you can't have my land. Read on up.
For he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down upon his bed, and turned away his face, and would eat no bread.
So this brother Ahab, a wicked brother, man, laid down crying in his bed, man, pouting because he can't get his way. We see that a lot of time in Israel too. When things don't go their way, guess what? Brothers and sisters leave. Bye. So, because guess what? We're going to keep the laws of God. Everything ain't going to go your way, man. This is the Most High's way. That's what way you should seek to be doing. Read on, right?
And that's what I'm worried about, because the brother told him, God forbid me to give away my inheritance. So he doing what God told him to do.
That's right.
And the brother don't start crying and being wicked about the thing. Like I said, that's how people be. But we have to stay strong with what the Lord told us to do.
Read verse 5 up.
But Jezebel, his wife, came to him.
But what?
But Jezebel, his wife, came to him.
I know a lot of brothers and sisters know about Jezebel. This is a wicked spirit that's on a lot of our sisters, man. That spirit of Jezebel to do what? To run things. She wants to be the head. She don't want to let her husband lead. Nigga, you can't tell me nothing. You know that attitude, man, that a lot of our sisters have. A lot of sisters got to shake that thing. That's the spirit that Esau put on them and their mamas put on them. They got to be able to shake that thing. Shake it at all costs. Read that again,
But Jezebel, his wife, came to him and said unto him, Why is thy spirit so sad, that thou eatest no bread?
So she's asked him, you know, why your spirit so sad? Why you feeling this way? Read on up.
And he said unto her, Because I spake unto Naboth the Jezebelite, and said unto me and to him, Give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard.
Because he won't give me what I want. Read on up.
And Jezebel, his wife, said unto him,
Now you see that wicked spirit, Jezebel. Sisters got to learn to shake that thing, man. That thing is going to get a lot of sisters put to death, man. For real, man.
And it's two wicked spirits we dealing here with. You know, men love to say that you Jezebel. A lot of you Negroes are some Ahabs.
That too. So we effeminate brothers.
Effeminate are always whining and crying because you can't get your way. Just like the brother say, man, too. That was dope. It open, you can open, just push and go. Go ahead.
Because what nation was Jezebel? Do anybody got that precept? Who was she? What nation did she come from? What you got a little bit of knowledge? Who? Yeah, what precept you got though? Ah, come on, man. Give me the, somebody know that precept? What nation was Jezebel? Brother Shaya, you know what?
I know she was Ham, but I don't know what.
Yeah, which one? There's a lot of tribes of Ham. Give me the book of 1 Kings chapter 16 and verse 31. There's a lot of tribes that come up out of Ham, but this is the precept for that. Because Esau, the other nations, put their spirit on our sisters to, guess what? Want to run things. You won't find it in the Bible. Sisters got to learn to get back in a rightful order before Christ come back, man. Because it's not going to be a pretty day for a lot of sisters or even for a lot of brothers, man. Read this out.
1 Kings
16:31.
And it came to pass, as if it had
Then
been a light.
A light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he took the wife, Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Zidonians, and went and served Baal and worshipped him.
So he took the wife of King, the daughter of King Ebal of the Zidonians. So she was a what? A Zidonian. She was an African, like Ibn I said, and even like Brother Shaya said, but she was of the Zidonian tribes.
And that goes back to the law about us marrying other tribes, because they gonna take you from your God.
That's
they
right.
don't do it.
They will do it.
It ain't saying it maybe, it's saying it's going to. And this is what's happening throughout history. And this is one of the stories that's confirming that what he's telling you is true. Most High give us instructions, not just to be giving us instructions, because it's the easiest, simple way to live. If you do them, everything will be good. If you don't, everything will be bad. Go ahead.
Let's go back. Go back to 1 Kings chapter 21 and verse 7. So this is a spirit that we got to shake up off of us, brothers and sisters. That secret spirit of coveting, want what somebody else's have. Sisters jealous of another sister. Brothers jealous of another brother. We got to shake that thing because they want something that they may have. Read this out.
21:7, 1 Kings. And Jezebel, his wife, said unto him, dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel?
Like, nigga, ain't you the king of Israel? You can do what you want. Read on up.
Arise and eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite.
So since he was the one to stand up, she took it upon herself to do that thing. Sister got to shake that spirit, man. Guess what? It's the man's job to lead the household. The man is the leader. You cannot have two leaders in the house, man. It won't work out.
And you see how sister did it. She got up, fixed up some of the food. Man, come on, eat this food in here, man. Let's go ahead and take care of this business. He was over there, that pal didn't want to eat. She said, come on here, I'm going to feed you right quick.
Read verse 8, man, being slick. Because she already had in her mind what she was going to do. Like a lot of sisters, man. They know what they be doing. Read this out.
Verse 8. And she wrote letters in Ahab's
Read that
name.
again.
So she wrote letters in Ahab's name. And sealed them with his seal.
Read that again,
So she wrote letters in Ahab's name. And sealed them with his seal.
So she wrote letters in his name. That is his job to be doing that. But she done took upon the manly role, like a lot of our sisters. Let the man lead. Guess what? The Most High God, if y'all in this truth together, the Most High God gave you that husband for a reason. If the brother is keeping the commandments, doing all the things that he should be doing, let the brother lead. Shake that spirit up off of y'all. Shake that thing, man. Read on up.
And sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in the city, dwelling with Naboth. And she wrote in the letter, saying, proclaim a fast, and set Naboth on high among the people.
Using trickery again. Read on up.
And set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him, to bear witness against him, saying, thou didst blaspheme God and the king, and then carry him out, and stone him, that he may die.
So she had it set up to where they would bring false accusations against this brother to have him what? Put to death. Also he could what? Get his land, man. That's the same tactic that what Esau do today. Give me that one in Micah. Because a lot of times we, like we say, the scriptures are twofold. Micah 2 and 1, all praise God. A lot of times the scriptures are twofold. It's talking about our people, but we know it's talking also about Esau as well too. Micah chapter 2 verse 1.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Woe to them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their bed.
So he devised iniquity, what she did, but he, guess what? He followed. That's where the sin comes in, that following behind your wife. Nowhere in the Bible does it say to do that, man. The men are supposed to be leading as righteous men of the Most High God. Read on up.
When the morning is light, they practice.
So the things that you done thought about, the wickedness you done thought about on how you gonna take some of one's things or how you coveted after something, they put it into practice in the daytime. Read on up.
Because it is the end of power of their hand.
And he had the power to do it because guess what? He was king over Israel, over the northern tribe. Read on up.
And they covet fields.
And he what?
Covet fields.
And King Ahab coveted their brother's field, man. Read on up.
And take them by violence.
And he did what?
Take them by
And
violence.
he took that by violence. He conjured up the plan to be able to steal that brother's land. Read on up.
And houses. And take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
And guess what? Like I say, these things go twofold because your houses, that land of inheritance was supposed to be passed down to your heritage. Now we use this scripture for Esau because that's that same spirit that Esau got on. They took this land unlawfully from our northern tribe brothers and sisters, man. And guess what? Claim it as theirs when this is stolen property. They got to be kidded, man. So let's go back to 1 Kings chapter 21 and verse 11.
1 Kings 21:11. And the men of the city were the elders and the nobles, who were the inhabitants of his city, did as Jezebel had sent unto them, and as it was written in the letters which she had sent unto them.
Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. And it came to pass, when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, that Ahab arose up to go down to the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreel to take possession of it.
So he got word that, guess what? His wife had put the hit out on him, so he went down like it was nothing. Brother just lost his life unlawfully, falsely, and you just wake up and just worried about your precious herb that the plans that you have for this brother's garden, man. We got to come up out of that spirit, because a lot of times brothers secretly be plotting on brothers, man. Sisters secretly plot on sisters, man. That's the spirit we are not to be in. You got something else?
Yeah, man, that's evil, man. Let's go to Sirach right quick. Sirach chapter 42. 42 and verse 1. Hey, man, that's evil. Even when you're dealing with your job, your people, your friends, your family. Man, scriptures answer all things, man. What Ak was doing, man, he covered that. He had a covetous spirit on him. And the thing is, instead of shaking it, he relished in it and it consumed it.
That's right. And acted upon that thing.
Freaked it up.
Sirach 42 and 1. Of these things be not ashamed. Be not thou ashamed.
He said, of these things be not thou ashamed, man. Read.
And accept no person to sin thereby.
Now, what he did, he accepted that sin, man. When she was giving him that wrong advice, guess what, man? We cannot accept no person to sin. We can't be, when the brother's doing it in front of us, hey, man, we got to call them out. Hey, when we getting advice that's the wrong thing, we got to call it out, man. We can't accept no person to sin, man. Read.
Of the law of the Most High and his covenant, and of judgment to justify the ungodly.
We cannot justify the ungodly.
That's right.
So when the act that he proved was an ungodly act, man, and by him being in sin, he added sin unto sin, man. With that, go ahead, Doc.
Let's go to the book of John, chapter 3, verse 20. Because like we say, these things are going to be revealed, and they pay the judgment for that thing. The Most High God used Elijah the prophet to bring judgment on them, man, to pronounce the judgment that they was going to get. Jezebel paid a heavy price. She got kicked off the temple, and the dogs ate her, and Ahab was put to death. John chapter 3, verse 20. These things don't go unnoticed, brothers and sisters.
John chapter 3, verse 20. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light.
Read that again, huh?
For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light.
Brother Samuel, what's the light according to the Bible? Help him out, Brother King.
Proverbs 6 and 23.
Oh, praise it. Let's get that right quick for edification. Let's say certain precepts, brother, got to be on them things, boy. We know we're going to be on y'all too, man. This is the basic precept that we want brothers to have understanding of, because you're going to need these things when brothers start to grow and start to teach out there. You got some Captain Nehemiah? Go ahead, huh? Let's see what the light is according to the Bible, because sometimes people think it was just the sunlight. No, the Bible is written in parables, coded messages. To unbreak the code, you have to have a good understanding of the Old Testament. That is the code breaker. Read that, Officer Yard.
Proverbs 6 and 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
Read that again,
For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
And the law is light. The law is light. It all points back to the laws of God. You won't get out of not keeping God's commandments. Yeah, Proverbs 6 and 23. Let's read that again for the brother.
Proverbs 6 and 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instruction are the way of life.
Read that one more time. We're going to let that thing sink in.
Proverbs 6 and 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instruction are the way of life.
So God's laws God's light is a law for us to be corrected in the things that we're doing wrong. Let's go back to John chapter 3 and verse 20.
John 3:20. For everyone that does evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light.
Neither can come into the commandments. So when you hating, it says for everyone that doeth evil hated the light. So when you in wickedness and secret sins, guess what? You hate to be corrected by God's laws. This is to break it down, to make it plain. Neither come into the light. And you're not going to want to come into the commandments of the Most High God. You always going to do what? Find an excuse. Oh, not today, brother. I'm gonna go next Sabbath. Then that Sabbath turn into what? 6 months from now.
Right.
A year or two now. Because y'all don't, brothers and sisters don't understand the Most High God is making the time short. He's shortening the day. These days is rolling by. We already going to be back at the Feast of Tabernacles. These days is rolling by, man. Read on up.
21. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light.
Read that again.
But he that doeth truth cometh to the light.
Who knows what the truth is? What brother? Brother Corey, what's the truth according to the Bible? Get some of them the non-speakers. Give him a chance, huh? Oh, pray, man. Y'all get that brother Keith in the hand, man. That brother on the thing, man. Brother is on it, man. Like I say, repetition is the teacher. When you constantly study, man, going over these things, man, it's like a reflex, man. You instantly know these things, man. That's why we, brothers and sisters, read. Practice, man. What's the truth, Brother King?
Psalm 40:8. I'm sorry.
Redeem yourself.
You got to redeem yourself.
119 and 142.
All praise, man.
I was thinking of something.
All praise. Let's get that for edification for the brother, man. All praise. You got to redeem yourself.
Yeah.
Brothers, y'all know we're going to be on y'all. Y'all should know these precepts we bring out at Sabbath class all the time. I mean at Sabbath camp all the time.
Hold up for you getting credit.
I know, right? Psalms 119 verse 142 shows you what the truth is.
Psalm 119 and 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
And thy law is the what?
And thy law is the truth.
So the truth is the law. The light is the law. Righteousness is the law. All these things what? Point back to the law. So there's no way, even in the New Testament, that the Most High God is telling us that his laws are done away with. No way, man. Let's go back to John chapter 3 verse 21.
The book of John, chapter 3, verse 21. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest.
And guess what? We'll be rewarded for us keeping the commandments. Your deeds, guess what, brothers and sisters? We are not doing these things in vain, man. We are not. These things will not go unrewarded. Keeping these commandments, being faithful, doing the work of the Lord, helping raise up a nation, and doing the Lord's work. Read that again, huh?
But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be manifest.
Guess what? Your good deeds will be manifest, and guess what? Your bad deeds are going to be manifest too. Read on up.
That they are wrought in God.
That they are wrought in God. We're doing this solely for the Most High God. Not for man, not for brothers in leadership, not for no other reason, but for the Most High God and his son Yahushua. Give me the book of 1 John chapter 4 verse 20. We're going to deal with this last thing. Hatred. Secretly hating your brothers and your sisters in your heart. Not being able to get along with sisters. Brothers not being able to get along with brothers. These are the things that, guess what, we got to learn to do away with, brothers and sisters. It's okay for a few months, then it comes back. And you got to deal with it all over again. We want to show ourselves a pattern of good works. Yeah, 1 John chapter 4 verse 20. Because hatred is a big thing, and guess what? We see a lot of hatred in Israel from brothers that know the truth, that's over camps, man. That thing right there flexes my spirit as well too, man. Because we understand brothers and sisters that don't know the truth. But guess what? For the brothers and sisters that are in the truth, still got their spirit on them, supposedly leaders of camps and over congregations, been in the truth 5, 6, 7, 10 years, man, it's no excuse for that, man. It's our time we cut that mess out, man. Secretly holding grudges against brothers, man. We got to shake that spirit, Israel. Read this.
Jump up verse 19.
Jump up to verse 19.
1 John 4:19. We love him because he first loved us. If a man say, I love God, and hated his brother, he is a liar.
Is a what?
He is a liar.
So if you coming up in the truth, guess what? Trying to keep the commandments, but you secretly got hatred for your sister in your heart. Guess what? The Most High God knows our thoughts. He knows our hearts. So you can hide it from us for a while, but you're not hiding from the Most High God. Read that again, huh?
If a man say, I love God, and hated his brother, he is a liar.
He is a what?
A liar.
Is a liar. Read on up.
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God, whom he has not seen?
Man, that's a cold cut, man. How can you say you read that again, that last part, verse 20?
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
So if you can't even deal with your brother that you see on a day-to-day basis, how can you deal with the Most High? You ain't even seen the Most High, man. That's something to let that thing sink in with brothers and sisters that's dealing in that type of spirit, man. Because guess what? We have to shake that, man. We are a family. We trying to build our family back the right way. Because you see families, that's the only time they call each other when they doing wicked ass holidays. You can see your family any other time, but you let Esau tell you when to come together for Juneteenth, for Christmas, for birthdays. Come on, man. That's not real love according to the Bible. Man, we see brothers and sisters on a daily basis up in here, man. Brothers always at the schools. We got Wednesday Bible class. Guess what? Brothers got Monday class, got Sunday classes, got camp 101. These are the things that the Most High God is putting forth so brothers can stay doing the work. So your mind don't be idle to be able to think and dwell in secret sins that we deal with. Give me the book of John. Give me the book of 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 21.
The book of 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel 2:21. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanliness of my hands, hath he recompensed.
Because guess what? A lot of brothers and sisters got to shake off them dirty hands. We got to wash them dirty hands, man. A lot of brothers and sisters' hands are dirty, man. We have to wash that thing. Read on up.
For I have kept the ways of the Lord.
Read that again, up.
For I have kept the ways of the Lord.
For he have kept the ways, kept the commandments. Read on up.
And have not wickedly departed from my God.
Read that again, up.
For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God.
Because some brothers and sisters let those secret sins what? Overcome them. And they secretly and wickedly depart from the Most High God. You see them not showing up, barely here, barely coming to the feast days. Guess what? These are signs. Some sisters, some brothers have legitimate excuses. Like we say, coming into this truth, you want to get your life lined up according to the Bible. But guess what? You want to make haste in that time. Read on up.
Verse 23. For all his judgments were before me.
Read that again up.
For all his judgments were before me.
So we know the judgment for having hatred to your brother, for covetousness, for lust, for adultery. Read on up.
And as for his statutes, I did not depart from
And
them.
we should depart from the statutes that the Most High God gave us. Read on up.
I was also upright before him.
And that's what we constantly need to be practicing, brothers and sisters, being upright. Read on up.
And have kept myself from mine iniquity.
And have kept ourselves, trying to keep ourselves from sin. Read on.
Therefore the Lord has recompensed me according to my righteousness.
Read that again, huh?
Therefore the Lord has recompensed me according to my righteousness.
He judged me. He paid me back for me keeping the commandments. Read on up.
According to my cleanliness in his eyesight.
In his eyesight. That's what we need to be trying to be holy to and doing this work for, in the sight of the Most High God. Not man, not your wife, not your children, but for the Most High God. Give me this last precept. Give me 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 76. I love 2nd Ezra chapter 16, man. Y'all have the time to read over that thing. It's a heavy chapter, man. Bring that now. Oh, okay. All praise. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 76.
The book of 2nd Ezra 16, verse 76.
We done brought this precept out many a times, brothers and sisters. We want to let that thing sink in, man. I love this precept. Read this out.
And the guide of them, who keep my commandments and precepts, said the Lord God, let not your sins weigh you down.
Read that part again out.
And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, said the Lord God, let not your sins weigh you down.
Don't let your sins weigh you down, brothers and sisters, man. Guess what? Get a grip on those things over a period of time. You have to make haste. Most High God, guess what? Come back tonight. Come back today. Do you think you'll be in good standings? Have you made your election sure? Read on, out.
And let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
Read that again, out.
And let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
Don't let your sins rise up. Don't let those secret sins overtake you. Read on, out.
Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins.
The word woe means destruction. Destruction to brothers and sisters that can't get a grapple on those sins. To put them behind you with the old man. Read on, out.
And covered with their sins.
And covered with their sins. You're trying to hide them, man. Read on up.
And covered with their iniquities. Like as a field is covered over with bushes. And the path thereof covered with thorns. That no man may travel through.
That no man may travel through. Go ahead, up.
It is left undressed, and it is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith.
Read that last part again, man.
It is left undressed, and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith.
When it talks about undressed, it's left unchecked. Because like we say, we know when you're undressed, you're walking in what? This is another word for what? Walking naked or what? According to the Bible. Sin. These things are left in sin, and it's cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. That means you're not getting the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead, Al.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Ecclesiastes. Not Sarah. It's Ecclesiastes. I said it right the first time. Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Well-known precept we all should know.
Fear God and keep His commandments.
Fear God and keep His commandments.
For this is the whole duty of man.
Well, this is the whole duty. This is what we should be doing each and every day. Fear God, trying to keep His commandments. Read on.
For God shall bring every work into judgment.
For God shall bring every work into judgment. Every word you said, every action that you put forth, every secret, and it's going to say that. Every secret sin you done did, everything that's going to be brought to the light, He's going to bring it forth in this day.
With every secret thing.
With what?
With every secret thing.
For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing. There ain't no secrets with the Most High God.
That's right.
Read on.
Whether it be good.
Whether it be good, you be good.
Or whether it be evil.
Or whether it be evil. So whether you do something good for the nation and the brothers, and you know what I'm saying, you was crying on things how you supposed to, or whether it was wicked that you did with yourself. He said He's going to bring every work into judgment, man. So we want to make sure we try to win these battles with that spirit and the flesh, man.
That's right. We always say, keep the commandments, so we love to bring out laws so brothers and sisters can have them. Let's go to the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 17. To touch on with the class, one of the sins that we brought out. Oh yeah. Jump down to, jump up to verse 14. Read verse 14 and jump down to verse 17. Yeah, Exodus chapter 20, verse 14. Contrary to popular belief, the laws are not done away with, brothers and sisters. Read this.
Exodus 20 and 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Read that again.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
So wives sleeping with other men, men sleeping with other wives? No. Guess what? That is whoredom according to the Bible. Jump down to verse 14.
Verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Read that again.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Thou shalt not want what your neighbor has. Your neighbor is your brother, your sister of the nation of your people. Read on up.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant.
So brothers secretly want other brothers' wives, and vice versa. With sisters want other wives' husbands. Guess what? We gotta cut that out. Read on up.
Nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor.
So don't cover what is your neighbor's, man. Deal with your brother, man. Like we say, and with that, we say shalom. Thank you to brothers and sisters that's watching online. Like the videos, share the videos, brothers and sisters. Help us push this truth, man, so we can go to hell or home, man. So we don't have to be trying to be illusion of inclusion, celebrating wicked holidays that's not of the Bible, man. Thank you for brothers and sisters that's donating to the cause. That money is being used wisely. We'll be going to Tulsa next week. You know, so any brothers and sisters that can reach out to us, any brothers that's up there in Tulsa, any crowds, reach out to brothers, man. We'll be coming to a city near you up there. And with that, we say shalom.